go. Nice.
Super
So
nice
is it
day.
already live, like the land sale, or it's just announced and the date is still upcoming? I'm literally that out of the loop.
Yeah, so it's just announced. The sale will be on the second. It'll be an auction. It's just we have had so many meetings on how to just do this sale. It's we just need to do it at this point. We were gonna do like more like a fate sale and then go into a property sale because there's just like basically because we airdropped fate for Ellie Blobs. There's like all the value has already been spent on the development of the project already, right? So we would just have no funds to continue to develop at this point. Like, so we would have basically pre-sold, properties 3 months, 4 months prior, with funds that are like non-existent at this point in our project. So like, we need to get Fate in the game is kind of the priority now, because now we need to be able to use Fate.
Yeah, what's the plan for Fate in the game when it gets added so far?
So currently the plan would be so to earn it, it'll be basically a daily allotment's going to go out every day. That is going to be incentivizing the burning of NFTs that you earn in the game. So there's a deflationary mechanic that's constantly in play for the NFTs that are constantly kind of coming in all the time. So you can kind of burn your stone, your hemps, your logs and stuff like that.
Just directly into Fate.
Correct.
Nice.
But you'll earn a portion, so it's a pool thing. So it's not a.
Can you also use Fate to buy those then back? Like if you didn't want to go grind for them, can you buy them at like a hiked up rate or something?
So ideally, we would get to the point where you could buy it, in Fate in a marketplace. But most likely not. Like we would still want those assets permanently gone. I think is it. We wouldn't want you to be able to buy back in and then just inflate it just through purchasing using Fate.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But yeah, I mean, at some point, a marketplace where you're spending with Fate would, achieve the same exact thing in a way.
Yeah, that's true. And it keeps the like elements that you're grinding for valuable because it takes quite a bit of time to grind for those.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you talked about the stone furniture, I was pretty excited because I just have a metric ton of stone. So I was like, just thank God. Oh, thank God I saved these.
Yeah.
You have to get a plot and build a stone castle, dude.
Yeah. No, so everything.
I'll park my digital Lambo at my digital castle,
The digital stone Lambo, dude.
Yeah.
Digital stone Lambo.
No, the stone will be cool. I mean, just to kind of see what the price happens to it once it becomes available to like actually be burned. Because when we saw hemp, what happened with hemp, like when we introduced the butterfly nets, like it went from, I don't even know, it's less than a cent probably, and then it went to like 27 cents a hemp for a period of time. Like it's just like a ridiculous return on like an item that was completely useless initially, and then because it got that use case. But then you add in that second scenario where you can burn the hemp as well to get Fate eventually, and then it's just kind of this. There's more and more use cases for those base resources. Technically anything, but mainly probably if you're going to burn something, you're probably going to burn the easiest resource that you can gather.
If you're going to burn something, you're going to burn hemp.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that all the time.
Although as more use cases come up for it, you might not want to burn hemp, right? If it becomes too expensive, right, you might not want to burn it for a token that you can burn something that's a little bit cheaper for.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of burning hemp, I just heard from the stranger here in Seattle that certain compounds in cannabis are supposed to be prevent catching COVID. So smoke weed every day, guys. Smoke weed every day.
That's science, everybody.
I just got boosted right before this stream, so I might go Super Saiyan at any point in time. So if my hair turns suddenly blonde,
you just smoked a lot of weed.
You got your third dose. And you've been smoking all that weed? Damn, dude.
I know. I'm basically invincible.
Yeah, pretty much. Hot damn. That's dope. I want to know more about the land sale, though. So that's on the second, right? So
wait, hold on. Can I do my intro? I'm really excited. I did the intro this time.
Okay.
Lewis normally does it, and I don't know how to do any of these things, so Max walked me through it. And since Lou's on vacation in Hawaii, I'm like, okay, let me show it off. I'm so proud of myself. I'm basically a visual artist now. No big deal.
Yeah. I got invoiced from Lewis afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna invoice.
Look out, Max. Mark's coming. Mark's coming
All
in.
right, we're coming in hot. We're coming in hot.
Got marbles in my mouth. That's what the marbles are right now.
Does floor become just ground when you're outside?
Zoom, dude. All I gotta say about that.
God, do you see how it grew? It got bigger. Oh man, I crushed it.
Let's go.
Ease in, ease out, and everything, dude.
Now keep in mind the only thing I added was the Immersys logo at the end. The entire thing before that was done by Lewis.
Look great. I love it.
Killed it.
All right. Virtual land, virtual real estate sale.
I am very interested in this because the first thing when I jump into Immersys, I'm in like that center circle where it's like the Space Needles type tower in the middle, and then there's like buildings all around there.
Yep.
Are those plots at some point going to be like ownable? And is that what this land sale is, or is the land elsewhere? Do you need to go through a different like once I first log into the game, how far do I have to go to get to my land if I get a land?
So these ones are going to be very close. So this first property sale is going to be in a district that we're most likely going to start calling, downtown area. So this will be the downtown of Aurora City. So the idea is that because we are not like a voxel based or a sandbox where you can kind of build whatever you want, like per se, we have to kind of build the templates and then allow you to have access to it. We're going to build each property as if it's its own, piece of real estate in the real world, right? We're going to kind of plan each plot out, design the building, give the building a name, like, the Lux down the road, or like, whatever, like the ETH or something like that, right? Like just kind of name them like some just like random blockchain related, type building, but they're going to be, one of a kind buildings that will have, multiple, residential areas inside of them. And then also, in addition, we're going to do the retail properties, which are more like a storefront, which can technically have, just a base floor or multiple floors. So when it comes to the
floor.
So that's the thought process on it. Like, is you'll start with one floor. If you want to kind of upgrade it, then that's like a use case to kind of upgrade it so that you now have a second floor, third floor, whatever you need, right? And then maybe that second floor upgrades it so that you now have some advertising space as well, or things like that. So now you're walking down the street, and the nice thing is that means that the city can kind of progress throughout. So like as you're starting out, you might not have the money to upgrade your shop. Kind of starts off like a smaller, shop and just kind of a thing. And then maybe you get enough money to upgrade it. So now you have the second floor with the billboard, and now you're like selling the ads for outside your shop. And then, you're going in.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I guess you can use your own ad space for other things if you wanted to. Oh, that's awesome.
Would the floors be like, would there just be stairs going up, or would it be like a portal where you go to your second floor, or would it all be in one zone?
Yeah, so more often than not, you're going to have stairs be in like the actual world, and then going into the building will be the separate instance. So
all the floors in the one building will all be in the same instance.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you'd be able to go in there and climb all the way up. But so the property sale is the thing that I kind of like, is because I feel like that's going to be, of the two, I feel like that's obviously going to be the most affordable right off the bat. And we were kind of just before this interview here, we were kind of going through the editor and kind of wandering the current like building that we have, and like taking all the staircases. So the way that it's going to work is, each NFT that you own is going to represent an actual location in that building. So like each door is going to be numbered, so there's going to be like different like locations. So like you have to walk up the staircase to get to your place, and it's your place. You'll know if you can access it. You'll know if like you have like a key of ownership, so you can get in there, and you can even like decorate the place yourself. So it kind of like it kind of functions like Animal Crossing, if you've ever played it, where you can kind of go in and you'll bring up your tablet, and then you can like put down a hologram and move it around to where you want it, and like spin it, rotate it, resize it, and then
that's dope.
place it up on the wall. But you can only do it with NFTs that you actually own.
But are other people able to visit still? Like, I know you said you like. So like people just don't have the ability to move your stuff around, but they can still go in it even if they're not empty.
Correct.
Oh, that's super.
I want to flex my stuff. I want to make sure people can come in. And see
I
all
want
the
to hang
sweet shit
some
I
of my
have.
NFTs up.
Yeah, I like the idea that you have to physically always walk to your place too. I think is what you were talking about yesterday, where like it makes you still appreciate the scale of the game, and then you're like, okay, well, I can't just teleport home. This is a world, so I gotta walk home.
Yeah, a big part of real estate in general is location.
Location,
and if you
baby.
can teleport everyone.
That's true. Yeah,
and it's going to create value. Like if you're right next to the spawn, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be more valuable than someone that's like 4 blocks away. So like it's just cool that it'll have like real value based on location.
Is there an ability on a personal plot, like is there some sort of mechanic where I could like sell the window space and like have an advertisement on my apartment or something?
So
you could probably do that privately.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I guess you could, right? Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Like somebody could just pay me wax, and I can put up their NFT on my house. Like, it doesn't have to go through Immersys.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, I mean, as long as the NFTs are like in the game, they can do it. But yeah, I mean, we want to get it so that like if you own the apartment, you can set up renting permissions. So let's say like a 30-day lock or something like that. You mint an NFT that authorizes somebody else access to editing that room for a set period of time, essentially. And then you can also open it up for anybody to come in there if you want. You can have 2 people that can edit the property. So you have a bunch of different permissions that are all set up in this new app that you're going to get. So when you own a property, you'll also have access to our like properties management app. So then you can see all your different properties that you own as far as their NFTs, and then also kind of set everything from like, the wallpaper, the roof, the crown molding, like the colored paint that's used in there as like your basic settings. But then we also want to take it a step further. And at some point, like, if you want some like pretty exclusive wallpaper, like you want, brick walls inside your apartment, those will be NFT unlocks that you can get that will show your ownership of being able to customize your apartment a certain way.
Man, this is gonna be like The Sims. The Sims meets Minecraft. Like this sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely get the Animal Crossing vibes for sure too.
Definitely, for sure. I think there's a heavy influence from it.
Is there any thoughts of like doing governance or something like that like all the people in the building could vote on certain things that affect?
Have an HOA.
I don't know.
See, I love that idea.
We love governance a lot.
I love that idea. I'd love for it to just form naturally. Like, I don't know if we'll, get involved with it right away because we just have so many other things that we're trying to get involved in. But, it'd be cool to see stuff like that. I see that happening a lot more on like an actual land sale, right? So like the way that we picture an actual land sale is like, those big areas that we have, like that would be managed by, probably some type of bigger, either guild or DAO or something like that where, they own this plot and then they can kind of, use all these other tools that we've kind of developed to kind of build up and create these areas. So we kind of separate like land from like properties, like separate properties into retail and residential.
And this upcoming auction is for property, not land, correct?
Correct. So this is for property. So you
and then Jeff had a question about this. Is there a whitelist requirement? And then also, are there any prices revealed?
Yeah, so no whitelist. It's going to be auction based. Honestly, I was kind of telling you guys behind the scenes. I mean, the pricing thing has kind of been our biggest discussion, like how to properly do this, because we obviously have Fade out there, we have Wax out there, we have everybody trying to do different types of sales where you're trying to whitelist and only limit it to certain people. We just don't really have a great idea of what these things are worth. I mean, we're kind of like,
let the community decide.
That's like the entire NFT space right now is trying to figure out what these assets in general are just worth. And,
and I think that's the thing is we also need funding for what we're trying to do, right? Like it's not like, this is a very cheap thing to be, taking a, leap of faith on. Like we're kind of doing something that's kind of, different from most people, but it's also, super expensive, and we kind of need to kind of like know stuff. So we're probably going to go Wax. It's going to just be auction format for all the plots, and then no whitelist. So that way, the way that we see it is the people that are going to spend the most money most likely are going to provide the most value, even if they spent 20,000, Wax early on. they're going to have to dedicate some type of, value to Immersys, right? Like they're not going to just sit there and let their investment kind of sit there and just dwindle, right? Like they're not going to hold on to it forever. In my mind, I think basically auction format ensures that we'll get somebody that has basically, risked something in the space and most likely to provide value to the space.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Did you say how many total properties are on auction?
Yeah, so residential, there's going to be 52. This first building that we're going to release has 52 units in it, and then residential or retail, we haven't said it out loud yet, but we're kind of releasing some information, periodically as we get up there. But retail will be less for sure.
And is it going to fill up that marketplace?
Retail is separate than the market that exists right now, right? So like people are still going to be able to buy shops in that market if they don't get the retail in this new city spot.
Correct.
Is the retail so like the bottom floor of the building, right? That's kind of how it works.
Yep. So markets are down on like the down. Yeah. So they'll have like their own facade that you can buy, and then it'll be on the first floor essentially.
Worried it's gonna get sweaty for those. I want a residence. I just think it'd be cool to have one.
I'm getting a residence. I'm absolutely bidding for a residence.
Especially the first building too. I feel like that's such like an OG badge to be like, I'm in the first ever building.
Genesis,
I'm in the closest one to the center.
Building 1, room 1. What's up?
Well, you can see each other from like the porches. There's a little courtyard area, so you can all kind of meet in the courtyard. So like you could see each other like walking up the stairs to your place. It's kind of cool.
Okay, wait. So just for my understanding, so like the retail space will be first floor retail of this building that you're
no. So it's going to be totally different. So the building is going to be in that downtown area. We're going to consider them. Like we're going to consider the marketplace / this complex downtown in a way. It'll get built out over time, but that's what's there to start.
Okay.
So the retail is like a separate building that's going to be smaller and have less.
Correct. Yeah.
How do you get into the existing storefronts in the current marketplace? The ones where you already have some shops?
Yeah. So right now you're still just walking, down the path in there, and then you're entering a door there. Those will just be kind of upgraded to kind of the newer ones. They're just better models and more optimized. And
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything that exists through the door still exists, but they'll just be different storefronts.
Would it be possible if I bought like one of the storefronts, but didn't have a store myself, to rent the storefront to another, like maybe like a small collection who can't afford to buy themselves one, and just be like, here you go, you can do a pop-up shop in my storefront?
Yeah, so you get the same permissions with the retail store as you do a residential. So that's kind of the idea, right? We want to provide the property for you, and then you owning the property, then you can provide permissions for somebody else to decorate it. So if you want to be the owner of the building, you're the owner of the building. Whoever's renting the inside of it can decorate it the way that they want.
Can you imagine like enforcing a commercial lease with the lease terms being programmed through a smart contract? Like, I told you couldn't put holes in the wall. You can't do like that.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. That's really cool.
The KY has a suggestion. He says, if y'all make NFTs that have different appearances with the black, white / wooden VR effects, that would be dope. Like, if you have a skin that when you put the glasses on, like the skin transfers into something else. I don't know how possible that'd be, but
cool idea.
Yeah. No, I think it could get to that point. I think. I don't see why not, right? Like I could see that being the case. It's just I think we would first upgrade our avatar system a little bit before,
So from the creator's side, like, is it something that your creator partners could create furniture or aesthetics that people can purchase for in-game use? So we could create like a neon, Pottery Barn collection here.
Exactly. I mean, that's the idea, essentially. So like your NFTs that are in there right now could end up being posters, right? Like they can be plastered along the wall or wherever, or even the 3D objects that we have, the collections have 3D objects. They literally look like little like Funko Pops that you can put on your counter, your shelves. You can put like the little Karen Loompa in there. You can put like the Alex Moon and stuff. So they just look like little 3D objects decorated around the entire place.
Would the furniture fit within the crafting system too? Would it have to be a blueprint that you then craft, or for the furniture, can you just buy it directly and place it?
Our furniture will be done through blueprints. So you know, our sets of furniture, that because we want things to come through our player base, right? So we don't really want to just have a you know, properties without the play to earn aspect. We need people coming into the world. So you know, the players becoming the creators of the furniture that furnishes the people that own the property is kind of the logic path that we want to have. So, you know, the guy chopping the tree down still, you know, earns value through making planks, making furniture, finding the blueprints to craft the furniture. And then the person that maybe just wants to set up a store, you know, they have to buy and furnish their location to get the true value out of it.
And then the furnishings have to be basically built with the crafting materials that are found in the
correct.
In the
yeah. But then there's obviously the creator NFTs that you can just, that's a different type of value, right? You're going directly to the collection and then buying the value from them.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Dang, that's really cool.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited about that.
We're treating the residential stuff sort of like it's your like metaverse, like social media profile in a way, right? Like it's like that's your space, right? Like that's in the metaverse, like that's what you can decorate. That's your homepage, that's your feed. And that's like you could probably put your like I think we'll eventually get it to the point where like if you want people to know who you are, like you could have your social media links in there, and you know,
I could have a song when you walk in, like my MySpace page.
Yeah. So that way, when you're like walking through the plot, right, or the property, you just don't know. You know, you know, like sometimes you could go to these different like metaverses, you just have no idea who this person is, right? Like it's just this anonymous piece of like structure that's in this virtual world that has no meaning. But like, you know, if you make it a little bit more personalized, where like it's clearly, you know, things that you're interested, like decorating the entire place, and then also links to like social and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I like that a lot. You know, something I really like about having virtual spaces is like messing with, because it's virtual, like messing with the like scale of things and reality, like the motion, like a non-Euclidean type of environment. Is that type of shit possible?
I'm not even sure what that is.
None of us do.
I do.
Like if you have
so
like
you turn a corner and the room just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, if you keep turning like left, going to the left, you keep going deeper and deeper into the world without actually leaving the space.
I make stupid game says yes.
No.
I guess so. Yeah. If I make
so like
stupid game says yes, then
if
sure.
you're in VR though, it doesn't feel jarring at all if you turn it into like a house that has 4 rooms, and then like each room has like a door into the next room. You can just keep walking into infinite amounts of room, but in a room scale space that, you know, fits in my living room.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. I was just curious.
So it gives you bigger depth and square footage while keeping the same fixed space in the environment.
Yeah, like think about like, I don't know, even just my apartment. If I were to walk down like this way and then into my bedroom and then into my bathroom, if my bathroom had a door, I would be back in my kitchen. But in a non-Euclidean space, the bathroom would put me then into another room, which I could then end up like essentially right here where I am now. And I could walk into another room that's back there that isn't, you know, and then not my bathroom, not my bedroom. And I could just keep going in circles, and then going backwards in the opposite direction. I would just, you know, go through that same space again until I start back out into my kitchen. I'm back in the living room here.
I mean, I think stupid game seems pretty amped about it. So
yeah,
I think you're speaking
as throwing out other words. So yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, non-Euclidean spaces are really fucking awesome in virtual space, and it's something that you can't do in the real world. So it's something that's really fucking cool. Plus, in a game like Immersys that has VR on its like radar, it really enables a user to move in a VR in a room scale setup that's like in their living room, but then like literally move through like miles and miles of virtual space, and without making it feel weird that you're just walking in circles, even though you're just walking in circles. Yeah.
So like speaking of scale, so like you're going to, so this is one building, and then you're going to release more buildings, and then you're going to release land that encompasses those buildings, and so there's a tiered hierarchy of ownership here. I mean, so what's the long-term idea of how big this scale really gets? Are you going to have multiple cities, like Aurora City, and then
so the idea is to have multiple cities, for sure. Yeah, like this is the first city, and then this is like kind of where you spawn, right? This will always be that first city, and maybe your houses do become the place where you eventually spawn if you want to set it that way. So if you want to come into the game rather than at the portal, you'll spawn right into your house and then be able to go. I don't know that that's going to come, right on release. I kind of like more of like come in the center and then have to kind of walk to your place. But yeah, no, there's it's going to be big. There's going to be multiple cities for sure. And like I said, that with the residential properties, like we do want them to be like individual like locations. So like when you get that NFT or when you're bidding on the NFT, it's going to have like, it's like, building A, 501, like, just like the building name.
Oh,
and you're gonna have to.
So like the real value here in the earliest auction is the fact that this is a Genesis, like building one fucking, like you're right here downtown, right when you enter this environment. But if you are someone who missed out or couldn't afford to get in on this one, you shouldn't necessarily despair, because there is potentially enormous city incoming and like a room for your price range.
So I think the way that I like to think of it is Sandbox did like, I think 166,000 plots initially, right? And then you can combine plots into like estates or something like that, right? Is how they do it. Instead, we're going to do it more like, because we want to continue to build out the world, build out like the story, build out quests, build out areas. So like ours is going to come out more of like a, in like a faucet manner in a way, right? Not a lot, right? But like for example, the demand is going to be way higher than the supply that we have for this first sale. So there's going to be some retail, some residential, but like that number is not going to really increase over time. We're just going to kind of drip them out over time for you to pick up, basically.
But that does that, like, are you trying to drip them out over time in a way that maintains kind of like the initial price point? Or if people are like find that price point inaccessible, do you think that they should expect in a later date to get something, or that it's just like, well, if you want one, save up, and that's what probably it'll cost to get in on an auction?
Well, the idea is obviously, so this first one's in wax right now, but eventually it gets to the point where it's in Fate. So the people that are going to be earning Fate are the people that are in the game. So like if you're playing the game, the assumption is that you eventually start being able to pay for things in Fate. So like as we build the Fate ecosystem, and the use cases and stuff like that, and we start putting real value into the token. Or like building the use cases into the token. That's obviously what we want to get to, right? We want to get to that point. I think we need to develop the game far enough to the point where, it's worth it for people to start using Fate. Like, I just feel like the token, a token's useless until like the platform's ready for it to be used. Like, and that's kind of the thing is we don't want to put all this, like, we don't want to say here, everything's in Fate right away. And then, we're stuck with a token that essentially has zero value because we can't sell out of it, and then we have no money, and then the project just dies because there's just
that's actually been one of my concerns. Is like, how are you guys making any money? Like, if we can only pay you in Fate, like the only way you guys can make money is if you dump your own token. Like,
So that's what we want to.
I'm actually glad you're doing a wax sale. Like, I feel like that's a better,
a lot more sense too.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense, right? Like right now, it's kind of like this speculative like token, sort of like any token that's on like Ethereum right now that just promises a project where you just have no idea what's going to come at the end result. I mean, that's kind of what the current circulation of Fate is really there for right now. It doesn't, like, there's no real new Fate coming in. There's some coming in from the liquidity rewards, but if we accepted our own token and then there's only 180,000 in there, we'd probably take all 180,000 in the sale. So we would just be sitting with 180,000. Nobody has any token. They just have the property, and there was just no benefit for us to even do it. Basically, we just took the token away from you guys.
Do you you incentivize liquidity for Fate? Is that what you said just now?
So for Wax Fate and then Wax Kate are the two pools, and then obviously you have Blue that has the pairing as well. But you would get Blue from that, not Fate from it.
So if I do that, right? Don't the Kate team drop the rewards?
Yes, Kate helps us. Yep.
So is there a way to get Fate for pairing Fate and Wax?
Yes.
Or is it just
currently? Yes. It's 50K Fates going out per day. I think when Fate comes in full force, then you'd see that most likely increase. We'd probably increase LP rewards, for both of those pools.
Does Fate have a hard cap as a token?
Yeah, it's 18 billion.
Okay.
Yep. So there's about less. I think it's like if it's not 1%, it's a little under 1% of total tokens out there. I think with the rewards included in, it's 1%, but actually available is less than 1%.
And then
I also think that's a good
long-term
move,
the mining or the distribution structure for that remaining percentages through like gameplay, right?
Correct. Yeah. So basically, you have to burn NFTs, and then those NFTs, allot you a portion of the pool that's going out every single day. So if you're burning some logs one day, and a bunch of people would probably be burning assets, and that's the thing, is the pool kind of overloads in a way. So like day one, right, it might not be worth it to burn your assets, right? Like let's say, for example, 1 million fate comes in on day one, right? You could burn a portion of that pool, and then it gets sent out to you. But then because the way that I'm not even going to get into it too much, but the way that it works is like it's going to be less and less, the more people that burn. So there might be some remainder. So then it might be like 1.2 million the next day. And then until everybody burns, because you're never going to technically burn the entire pool, because to burn the entire pool, it's going to take like hemp, which might have 160,000 assets, and see how many have actually already been burned, which might be 80,000. So then there's 80,000 hemp that need to be burned in order to capture all 100% of the pool that day. If you're getting what I'm saying.
And you can't do that since they've already been burned.
Correct. Well, you could technically. If they burn the other 80%, then there's zero in circulation, so you've earned 100% of the pool for that day.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, okay, I get
that. So you're going to see how like it kind of stacks up, so that there's more,
and then
going
it rolls
out.
over, and it keeps like incentivizing. That way, if it becomes unincentivized, then it'll just stop, and the next day's new reward will like add to it. And if it's still not enough, then the following day it'll be like
correct, and it builds up till it is worth it for you to start burning again.
Oh, that's very clever. I like that.
Yeah.
So with Fate, I saw you guys have like services that you're trying to provide for Fate. Like you pay Fate to add templates into Immersys, but you guys also have like, I don't think you've done it yet, but the service that you could develop a game for people in Fate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not working the way that we thought it would work, admittedly. Like, I mean, first off, like nobody's doing it. There's not like enough Fate to pay for a normal project or anything like that. So I think bringing assets in, like asset creation's probably more feasible, but like nobody asks us to do it really. It's like weird. Like it's there, but like it just doesn't really happen. So I think building the value in Fate more from like the actual gameplay perspective is going to be more of our focus going forward. So like, having to pay for Fate for crafts, having to pay for Fate to like, maybe, get a premium, like, wallpaper in the apartment, like, getting additional features in the shop, like maybe, not just being able to add links in there, but also be able to own like an ad system that you can update inside the store. So like just adding use cases inside the game more rather than, services, because the services are tough, because there's not like a one, like it was never going to be like a one, like, thing fits all type scenario. Like everybody has such different visions. Some people can like provide some of the models up front. Some people can't do anything. Like some people can provide concept art. Some people can't provide concept art. So we're just sitting there.
Yeah. How do you quote that, and how much Fate it's worth too when Fate's has a fluctuating value? Yeah.
So it didn't work. We wanted to do it just to kind of promote like adding more assets to the world initially, right? Like, because that was kind of one of the big things is like, we just wanted to add more stuff to Immersys, because it's not like a sandbox, right? We need other people creating content. So if they couldn't create the content, we wanted to like kind of take on the role of creating the content for them in a way, but also kind of, have some type of utility for the Fate token initially until we can develop it into the game itself.
Yeah, nice. I like all the direction plans sound really fucking sound, like the land drop in wax to fund the development further, and then like pushing that.
Well, because if we can get wax, then we can pay additional developers. The thing is that's our big thing, is our costs are astronomical. I'd love to see where we compare to like some other projects. It's just, I can't even imagine we're on the same playing field. It's ridiculous. Like we're trying to develop almost like a AAA type game on on a wax budget.
Yeah,
we
you
also
definitely
haven't done a lot of sales. Like that's
I
like
know,
also when I
this
told
is
people
really
I'm
our
worried about you
first
guys
sale.
making money because I was like, they don't do sales and like
I
the only thing
want
they
you to
sell in
make
Wax-
money. I really do.
The only thing you sell in
Like,
Wax
give
is
me stuff
tools.
to buy, please.
And
And
you
the
only
stuff,
need
the
them once.
tools is used for RAM and stuff too. Like the stuff you sell for Wax isn't even making you money because you need that to
Yeah.
mint all
I
the stuff
mean,
into
if
people's
you
wallets.
look at
so
how
it's
many
like,
sales we have, and then look at how much Wax we have in stake for the resources for the RAM, it's like equal. Like there's just
Yeah.
it's a net negative
Yeah, this is
probably,
a
but
peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I appreciate that though because there's so many people who have raised so much money and produced nothing. Y'all didn't really raise much money and you
so much
produced a
less,
ton.
yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
if
absolutely.
you're gonna invest in a team, invest in the guys that are actually getting shit done without.
Yeah,
like, cash
you
grabbing.
see what they can get done on a shoestring budget. God forbid they have a better one.
Yeah.
You know, to think of
That's
what's possible.
yeah. It's like, hey, if that land sale goes well and you make millions of dollars, like I imagine the development will like take off in a way that it just hasn't in the games that have actually sold millions of dollars. So
here's a good question. I remember. Well, here's twofold. Like I know you guys had talked and teased like doing like a some sort of horse racing game in there that people could play.
Yeah.
As far as you guys developing a certain RNG game in there, is that still in the cards?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like you can already play Grubfish in the game, right? Like that's how I do my giveaways on stream. Is I'll just
I guess you can just open up the browser. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean that's how you can kind of use the majority of dApps like on Wax right now is like you could play Alien Worlds, you could play Our Planet, Green Rabbit, like anything that's a dApp in a browser you can play inside of Immersys right now. So we're not really like. It's weird to kind of just like then make another game that's similar and provides that same exact stuff. But as far as the horse race thing, I mean, we want to get into that. I think I think we need to get properties, we need to upgrade Avatar, and we need to get some type of player versus environment, aspect to complete the gathering into like a combat style, progression of the game. Like I think we needed to reprioritize. I think 2022 is where we kind of stopped just like doing random things and kind of prioritize.
Yeah,
like,
dial in what
focusing
you
on
already
making
have.
your gameplay functional and the Fate
Exactly.
economy functional within your gameplay instead of trying to just onboard a bunch of people to make the Fate token valuable through their gameplay. You're like, I know I can guarantee we can make our thing good.
Correct.
Instead of focusing on other people that might end up just bailing halfway through and like.
Yeah, I think finding what you're
value.
doing well and leaning into that. I mean, we kind of reached a point of that with Neon Space too. Like we kept trying to throw all kinds of ideas out, and we're just like, let's just take what's working and just do that better. It's worked out much better for us. The other thing that was interesting to me, and we talked really informally about it a while back, but like Wax has a good community of like Twitch streamers, ourselves included, Menace Tech, MJ Doja, Sammy Snake, all that sort of stuff. I remember we had like informally talked that you guys had an idea to do like and you guys stream on Twitch as well, do like some sort of theater thing where like you would have, I just recall you saying there's like you would have whoever's streaming of like a certain whitelist of streamers that you have, and you could just go in this theater and see whoever's live.
Yeah, still on the plan. It's just
Burst.
It's one of those
Burst
things that ends up like it's kind of that back burner thing for us, right? Like we'll get there. Obviously, I think the way that we see it is like we offer the ability to still do. If you want custom stuff, we're going to still hear you out and see if we can make that custom thing work, right? We'll consider that that's like almost the fourth type is like we'll consider that space, right? So if you want space in the metaverse, you can consult us and we can figure out exactly what you're looking for and building it. That would be how you skip the line because it's going to come naturally. But if you want something ahead of time, you're going to pay for, that thing ahead of time. We'll specially develop it for you. It's your area. It provides the same utility that we would just eventually provide to the world, but it's yours at that point. But that's the way that we see it working best.
Yeah, I did leave out Burst. I'm the worst. I'll take that. I'll take my lumps on that. He can scream at me in DM later. But yeah, I mean, shoot, if we could pay you to make like a Marvel Amphitheater, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But it is nice that basically, there is a lot of jumping off points creatively for creators to be able to just be like, can you do this? We can probably figure it out.
Well, I'm curious to see how the properties work, right? So like the properties work with, other people's NFTs, right? So it's these creators that have gotten in already, right? They're now they're not just spawnable NFTs. Spawnable NFTs were cool for like discovery and like stuff, but now that's how you decorate your house, right? So now, like, now people want them even a little bit more, right? Like that, it's kind of that the next added, use case for them in the metaverse. And in that, I feel like that just continues on, right, to the point where, like, if you own the store, right, you'll have the ability to spawn out the NFT to sell the NFT, right? Like so there's like 3 things that you can do with it. You can spawn it as a decoration, spawn it as a sellable, spawn it as just a companion out in the world that follows you around.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
We still need to. We bought the Fate for our templates, but we just never filled out the form for our second drop. But
yeah, anything that you need, just send it in.
Add metaphors. Now we need that Ultra. Now we're 2 streets behind. We definitely need to get on our,
we gotta add some
template.
I do like the spatial audio for our NFTs particularly is so huge that you could display a neon version of one of our Neon Space NFTs, and you could have spatial audio on your wall of the music that we make for it. It'd be really cool.
Might need to be able to mute those things. Now that you mentioned it, like true. Individual assets, or else you just have like all these noises coming from all 4 walls.
That's a really good
yeah.
I'm thinking about it, but yeah.
A little toggle.
Yeah, we still need to put some TLC into Neon City's zone and Immersys. That one definitely needs some.
I know Max reached out with someone to like help with Substance Painter, but I don't know any updates on that. Max,
talking to a couple of people trying to get my footing in these fucking softwares.
Like that would be an example of space, right? Like that's your guys' zone in a way. Compared to like the properties or the retail place where it's we build the building, we build the world, and then you own the inside of it. Essentially.
Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like long term you'll just have such a like cool variety of stuff where you can go from like just outrageously differently like feeling places very quickly, like a space or like a neon style space themed place directly into like a medieval looking place.
Yeah,
like just by switching from those zones. That's so cool.
I'm just excited to be able to see like I just want to see like day one, because the day that you own the apartment, you're able to go in there, right? Like we're like that's kind of what we do is we build out the feature, then sell it, and then but it would be cool to just see everybody like going into their apartment and like just like decorating it, and then everybody coming into the courtyard and be like, hey, come check out my place, come check out my place, come check out my place, and then being able to go around and just kind of chat. Because
that encourages that gathering space, which is so key to these metaverse style games.
Yeah. And I think that's nice, right? Like, because like it's almost kind of interesting because we actually have minting down right now because somebody was able to get in there and be able to mint some assets. So we actually had to take it down to up the security of that procedure. So hopefully it'll actually be up here pretty soon, maybe tomorrow, if not tonight. So, but the thing is like that idea of like being able to go in and like see everybody in one location is super, super important. And when you go in there, because the minting's down, there's nobody in there. So it feels very like lonesome. And I feel like that's how most metaverses are. But the fact that the building has like the courtyard and like everybody has to go to that like a lot of people will have property in that little space. There's more likely for that interaction, that social, aspect of it to kind of pop up. And the point that I was trying to make is like, because minting's down, people are going in there and like, they're just playing music through their microphone. They're like, doing more giveaways. They're like definitely more, Charm City actually in the chat here, they're creating, things to do in the world, because, the main thing that would normally draw you to the metaverse isn't available, which is super cool.
But I mean, the good point is like anything you would typically do, you can basically do in Immersys. So if you want to just load up the game, just kind of chill, do your routine, check your apartment, but also, claim all your staking faucets and, dial in your email. You can still just stay in game and do all of that while still being surrounded by other people.
I feel like an old man, but I'm like, back in my day, there wasn't any minting NFTs in your wallet. Like when I started playing Immersys, like
we've tried doing that.
Battle Ella blobs, and like even that, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick. Like I know they're gonna add more stuff, but just this proves to me like this is gonna be sick. And I remember
the music for the Ella blob battle, I love. That's my favorite.
When you added the grinding, I remember seeing other people in the game and just be like, this is weird. Like the only time I ever see someone is like DM Dan or like ask Mark to come battle me on stream, but like when there's just a bunch of people running around, I was like, holy shit, this is like actually a metaverse. There's actually people in here. Like I don't know, it's cool seeing it evolve, like even over the short amount of time I've been playing.
And it's funny because we like wanted to expand we wanted to expand the LAN because it was just getting so tight. We had PvP and stuff like that, but like expanding the LAN, you kind of lose the the feeling of so many people in the same zone. So it's just kind of like this. Sure, it made gathering the resources a little bit less like aggravating, and like people weren't cutting you off all the time. But then you lost like the feeling of like, oh man, there's so many people around here. Not that I think the land was too big, right? I mean, you still probably had like between like 10 to like 20 different people in each zone in a way. So there's still like, you'd still come across people. Like, I think that's a nice thing is because like, even when I'd be in meetings, like showing people like the game, like, you know, I could go somewhere and guarantee that I was going to see somebody. Like it wasn't, I never felt like I was going in and not going to be able to see somebody else in the game, which I think is super nice. But if I could show my screen here, I got 2 videos that I got sent over that we can maybe show
if you click
off.
share at the bottom, and then if it has, and then do share screen, and then if it has sound, you got to make sure to do the share system audio in the corner.
There's like a checkbox to share audio as well while you're sharing the screen.
Did you say, by the way, how long these auctions will last? Like 24 hours, 48 hours, like a week?
We'll stagger them. It'll most likely be like 24 to 48 hours though.
Okay,
is most likely it. So
I haven't never tried to snipe anybody on an Atomic Hub auction. Does it let you do that, or does it like add more time after? Oh, it does.
Yep, it allows you to. So here's like so this is like we're not going to show you the current version, but here's the kind of the block mesh. This is like the oldest version.
So this is that courtyard you're talking about.
Yeah,
this definitely feels like many apartment complexes.
Let's go.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Kind of looks like our nice apartment complex.
So you can see like how they'll have names and
that's
numbers,
awesome.
and then it'll be the ownership. You can see anybody from other sides. There'll be like a whole courtyard section of it. This
I
is
definitely feel like the getting to know your neighbors piece. Like you can go reach out to your neighbors, find their username and stuff. Oh man, that's
I also feel like these
I'll
original
bring my neighbor's hemp. If you're my neighbor, I'll give you some hemp, y'all.
And then this is an example of like the apartment, basically. So you can, I don't know if he's going to spawn one out here. I haven't seen the video, but yeah. So you can now there's like this hologram thing where you can rotate it, scale it, place it, and then it's saved in that zone, where you want it. So and then you can only spawn the NFTs that you actually own. So
is that from a deck of varmints?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly where it's from.
I really
so
like
you can turn the light off.
Who made their store?
I got a dimmer and everything.
I don't actually know.
Because like that one, and also is it like the Crypto Chibi? Those are like my 2 favorite stores. Also Magenta, who's in the chat. Magenta store is awesome. Like those 3 stores are like, I don't know. I feel like if they provided that service, like if they were like offering, like I would pay them to help me like make stuff.
The nice thing is the Magenta version, like that's kind of what you're gonna get, right? Like that's doable, the way it is. Where Crypto Chibi and Floyd Varmints, those were totally, those were like totally custom builds. Where Magenta's is what we're offering, like.
Oh, really? That's super cool.
Yeah. So what was made in that shop is going to be absolutely able to be recreated. You basically just need the assets to exist in the game, and then you can spawn them out the way that you want.
Nice. I like the couch in the upstairs part of Magenta's shop. Like
the
little hangout.
Like a little lounge area. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we've messed around with having like our poker nights. Like we do poker nights at the community on Wednesdays, and just have people who have Immersys beta passes go in, and we all sit at the poker table in Immersys and then just play through that poker club site.
Yeah. No, I was doing that the other day just because the minting was down. I was playing some poker. I was getting rocked though. It was like short stacked, like just like and like super rapid, like the blinds were going up, and I was just. That's not my style of play. I like a little bit of it.
Oh yeah, but I need to put together another creators poker game. Shout out Dan here, who is the winner of our first creators poker game.
The ringer.
Dude, that was like 1,000 wax worth of stuff, dude. Like,
I'm curious about I am the KY's question.
But anyway, I'm gonna do that again. So if you would like to join,
cool.
Stuff that gets unlisted on Atomic Hub or de-whitelisted, that doesn't affect it like its existence in your game, right?
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. We're kind of like our own little platform in a way. Yep.
I believe Magenta's also asking
Atomic Hub is
if
its own thing. They don't really.
The residents will be in the
happens
same
outside
zone as the
Atomic Hub.
marketplace. Those are separate zones, right?
Well, no, they're. Yeah, she's confirming that it is. I think.
Oh, it is in the same zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like
so the marketplace is in Aurora City right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Inadequate Mass wants to know if there's a way to earn fate with a residential plot. I feel like a residential plot is just like it's your home base, kind of like. I'm not sure if it's a fate.
Yeah, right. So that's obviously right. Like that's what people want, right? Like I think that's the thing that we're struggling the most to kind of show value on why you'd want something like this, right? Because most people are like, oh, land sale, this means that I'm going to generate a passive token of something, and then that's what's going to provide me the value because that's what really provides the value. No, that doesn't provide any value for it. It ends up tanking, it's worthless to you. I mean, it's pointless. Like if anything, I've learned
what it really does when you earn passive income from owning land is it devalues the people who are playing the game.
It devalues people actually spending time in the game.
Yeah, it doesn't do what you want it to do. They're promising you a lie. It doesn't happen. I'm sorry. They just made a game and then sold you something because they could, and you were going to buy into it. But I think rewarding people for visits, that adds value to our ecosystem. Something like that. I like the way that Uplift does it. I think that is if you're going to reward something passively, do it where, they have to be actively getting you to come in there and go to your place. Like, I personally am not a fan of anything passive. I just don't think it's actually possible
I agree with that
to offer something passive.
No, there has to be, unless there's a strong burn case in place, passive stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
In adequate mass, what you could do is buy yourself a plot and then find somebody who can't or didn't want to buy one and then rent it to them and make an agreement where they pay you passive income.
So that's the idea.
You give them permission.
Right. That's the idea is that you can own that location for a period of time. That's technically passive income. In the real world, like you don't just earn passive income from an income prop like renting out like a condo, right? Like you have to own that property first, and then you have to look for somebody to actually buy the spot. Like there's some activity that goes into it. It's not really passive, even though they call it passive, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's about as passive as clicking mining in Alien Worlds.
Exactly.
Like you're still clicking that button every fucking however often you got to click it. That's not passive.
No,
but I'd imagine these sort of rental agreements would be like peer-to-peer. Like you're not going to create like a contract ecosystem within the game that people could do this between players. There probably have to be like a personal agreement, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we could get to the point where like it's a portal that you're kind of setting the permissions and the terms and stuff like that. Like on our server, you could technically just have a back end thing where you're setting those terms up. Like I don't know that it necessarily needs to be like everything doesn't necessarily need to be a smart contract in our mind. Like I think for a better user experience, like you could still exchange the value and then some of it could just be in a database, right? Like NFTs are essentially just a fancy way of like having databases in a decentralized way. Like it's like
anchoring a database like data into a decentralized network is kind of like when you'd want that. So it's totally fine to just do everything on a database and then periodically like update.
Exactly. The important stuff, like we need to know who owns the shop, right? Like that's probably better to have on the blockchain than like who's renting it for like the 30 days.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
I
Plus,
making
like
a third-party tool for that too.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm sure
third-party people can just create that too. That's what I was about to say.
Which, like, I remember when Uplift said they were going to do stuff like that. I was like, who the hell is going to make this tool for you? And then, like, all the tools they said the community make for them did get made. So it's like the Wax community kind of kicks ass.
The Wax community does like see a void and then just kind of fills that space. Like Stuck at 6 is a great driver of that. The K team's a great driver of that. So it is pretty great that there's all these tools that just kind of naturally come out of the woodwork and they don't overcharge the crap out of you either too.
I like IMKY's bundle idea too.
I love that idea, to be honest. Like I'd like to get to the point where we have our own, like, I'd like to get to the point where like you can submit like a buy offer on like people's stuff inside of the apartment. So if you're getting there, like you can submit the offer for like their chair or their
I mean, that would almost kind of work now because you can offer on Atomic Hub, so you just have to link the Atomic Hub offer.
So you link the deed to the apartment and all the stuff that's in it, and you just do that as a package deal. That sounds
what Dan was talking about, not just the building, but like if I could walk into someone's place and be like, that's a sick painting, and then offer them wax for it on the spot, that would be super cool.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because you can inspect it on Atomic Hub right there. And then you just use the tablet within the game. Yeah, that's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work.
Flexing your digital Lambo is really dope.
Well, then you could make a gallery. Like you wouldn't even need to like
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't even need to sell or make NFTs. You could just be like, "This is my collection. Anybody make a bid. This is my like."
This is
NFT
my
gallery."
collection of other people's NFTs. Come off from me.
And it's like an art gallery. You can buy the
real.
art off the wall, or you can go appreciate it. Like that's super.
Yeah,
cool.
it's not like the gallery owners painting all that stuff.
Exactly. I mean, if you want a gallery, the residential property is like a great example of like how you can make a, just a little like studio, museum basically of all the stuff that you own.
I also just think it's like, I mean, we always say like you want to flex your digital Lambo. Like this is the perfect opportunity if you have a bunch of sick one-of-one NFTs to like display it in a realm. Like
it's exactly right. Yeah, it's like
this is
dude,
what I've been
why
looking forward to for a long time in Immersys. So if I can get a
Yeah.
property, I want to show off all of my freaking sweet Ella blobs.
Well,
that
every
I have.
every collection that's came in, I've just been like, okay, I'm gonna pick up one or two. There's like sometimes I'll buy like everything if it's like super affordable. So like I know when this property sale like goes live, like I'm gonna be able to like furnish this with like mine's gonna like it's gonna look like the back of my laptop. It's just got all these stickers everywhere, like basically like yeah.
Oh man,
that'd be cool. It'd be cool if you could do that to your door too. So on the outside, when people walk by, they can like see stickers all over my door.
Or you could put your profile
the door
picture,
on
like
the
if
door.
you have like an avatar project, you could put your avatar right on your outside of your door.
Yeah,
Put your
I don't know how
board
it would
on the
work
door.
on the outside, right? Like because that's technically our.
Oh, that's public
us.
space.
Yeah, that's like the
It's
public
also
space. But
gonna be a portal, right, to get into it.
Yeah, so that's a loading screen between the inside and the because what it'll do is it'll verify ownership, verify your permission rights.
Ooh, what about
all that?
Would you offer a paid service to like customize the loading screen? Like we could customize the loading screen to our house.
That's
and, like,
super fascinating.
Oh wow, that's
fascinating.
I could make some sweet loading screens with music.
That's cool.
I'd pay Fate for that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. See, but that's the type of thing that we want to do with Fate, right? Is add those little things that make things a little bit more like yours and customized and upgrades the experience for you in a way.
Yeah. Like I want my room to be all like crazy space neon-y, and then the loading screen just like a wormhole where you like fly into it.
Yeah, particularly with that gallery idea, you could set the tone for the gallery in the loading screen, and then once they load, they know what they're getting into.
True. That'd be cool too. Yeah, I think that's like how are we making money question is like I feel like Wax will be used to unlock content, Fate will be used to upgrade content in a way, like and unlock features. So like for example, like I think unlocking the tool to gather, like you unlock that gameplay by buying the tool, and then to craft, like that's the upgraded experiences. Like you're upgrading the tools, you're upgrading like and making the tools better. That's where you would pay the Fate. I think is the way to do it. That way, you're getting both. We're able to kind of pay for continued development, and then Fate has a use case.
Yeah.
Do we want to start our? You sent us some stuff to give away, and we usually do marbles. Do we want to start hopping into that?
Yeah. So Dan gave us a bunch of tools, like the entry tools, but particularly with minting coming back online here in the not too distant future, you could mine yourself some resources.
Those entry tools are also not super cheap. Like those are good prices.
So I saw that. Yeah, I know they are good prices. What was it? Oh, so you added in the skill stuff for the mining or for the resource gathering, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't gone in since that patch, but like, so if your skill level is higher in a certain like in mining or what have you, does that increase your RNG chances for drops?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds so delightful.
Yeah. So there's two, right? So there's the actual like gathering stat, which will kind of boost it for all of them, and then the individual skill. So like you can gather anything and get that one up, and then you can also focus on wood cutting, and then that'll focus in on like boosting your rates for drops on just wood cutting alone.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Damn, Max, do you have all the seasons in there? You got like our full season history.
Yeah, I got the
9.
whole folder that I just pretty much have the whole thing that you have.
I don't have all those in my folder.
Oh man, speaking of, we should just buy a residential property for purely a gallery of all marble season trophies. I mean, we're literally on season 9.
Oh yeah, I'm so into
well,
that.
we could
have
right
a gallery
your
of
own
all
little
the
like
first place winners.
Put your fucking
the generosity plot
in
Uplift. What is it called? Like the place where you like kind of like say your
the gratitude.
The gratitude.
Yeah, the gratitude plot. But you can kind of do that with all the marble like things. It's just get that thing added in there. You just kind of have this like Hall of Fame like location where you can go and visit.
Yeah, exactly. The Marble Hall of Fame. It'd be better than Canton, Ohio.
You'd have to have the marble winner come and like bring their own NFT to display, since there's only one of one. And
yeah, true.
That's
not a super popular opinion, but like I'm kind of a fan of like you just releasing cosmetic stuff, and like the more and more I do NFT gaming stuff, it's like any sort of passive income just like tanks like whatever the project is, and it's like I feel like people pressure from the audience. Everybody's just like, I want income, but they're not thinking about the like longevity of the game. They're thinking about their next 2 weeks. So like, I don't know. I kind of like the slow and steady, and you guys not just rushing out to like, because like I'm glad people can't earn fate in the game right now because there's not enough use case for it. So it just dumped the market. So like I'm glad you're waiting to release the play to earn part of that, and not just like rushing into it and like crashing before you have the chance to grow.
I think that's super important too, right? Like, I mean, like the thing is technically the fate of like the price of fate is like up, like I don't even know, like pretty significant from like whatever it like kind of evened out on when we airdropped it. I think it like stayed at like 0.0008 or something like that, and now it's like 0.0022 or something. Like just that because it's like speculative at this point. That's the only thing it provides at this point. It like provides value for the people that are in early.
Real quick, I'm going to play our Marble intro for those that are new to us. This is a get hyped for Marbles video, but it's very loud. So either turn it up if you're excited or turn it down if you want to save your eardrums. So just buckle in because we're marbling.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. Just checking you're okay there. Exclamation point play if you would like to join this giveaway. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, we could do like top 3 get tools. There's like 10 of these. And just so you can get like broad saturation here, or we can do like just first place. What are you guys feeling here?
I like first place. So we can do whatever, actually. Yeah. I'm just trying to. Marcy, come on.
We'll give these away over time too.
So. You know what we can do? I think what we should do is we do 3 races. First place gets a tool, and we pick different prizes for second and third, and then we can continue to give these tools out and promote Immersys over a couple streams instead of doing it all at once.
I'll do for this first one. I got a rusty pickaxe. I'll give a pickaxe for first place. For second place, I'll do like a Neon Space Tales of the Crypto collaboration pack. And then third place, I got some Glummy Bears here from our friend Dr. Crispy.
It's nice to give those Tales of the Crypto packs out again now that we're not just getting like constant flip pressure from NFT battle miners.
Yeah, exactly. The floor is kind of dialed in a little bit better.
Yeah, battle miners gives that stuff out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just so quickly. We gave them like 400 NFTs, and like they gave that out in a month. That's just a lot of sell pressure because pretty much everybody playing their game wants to flip our NFTs because they're interested in playing battle miners, not collecting stuff. So like, it didn't turn out to be a great like way to onboard people for us. Unless I'm wrong, and somebody in the chat's like, I only found you through battle miners, but so far that does not seem to be the case.
Yeah,
that's kind of standing.
We cast a wide net,
or at least comic standing.
So that's the other thing in that Twitter space that you were in last night. Like, I think the discussion of like how you add value that's not just passive to the location. Like, I think you can like, I think you can add some things to it. Like somebody was saying, like there's like we can make it more like a planter box or something, so you can like plant a seed, and because we know that you own that plot, like you have to go back there every so often and like water it, and then that can earn you something. Like, so we know like you're coming back into the game. I think ours is nice where we're like, there's value in having the player come back into the world to do something. Like that means they're being exposed to like, you know, other people's, you know, content. So like that to us, I think we can reward things for like activity in the world. So, and then like, as far as passive, we can give passive effects in the world. Like if we want you to have like, you know, maybe if you sleep in a bed, if you have a bed, like you're kind of well rested, or if you eat your meal in your apartment, maybe you're well fed. And then like that gives you a bonus in the world that, you know, there's that passive value that's gained.
That would be super cool. Like, a 5% speed boost, so you can run faster if you've slept, and you can only sleep if you own property. So it like makes you able to run to the minerals faster to mine, but it doesn't necessarily passively let you do anything better.
Exactly. Like financially passive, it doesn't, but it benefits you in the game, right? Is the idea.
Man,
yeah, because I mean, you can build a routine that I always go to my apartment, and then it's valuable to like to make that a part of my game experience every time. You know.
Yep. Yep. So there's a little bit of a routine where you go in there, you water your plant. At the end of it, maybe the plant grows, and then it's I don't know. It does something in the game. That plant is something everybody else wants. So you've earned value, but it's earned value over time. That's not just coming in like all the time. You have to actively, go and visit your apartment to actually get it.
Yeah, I think that's really smart. And those little details go a long way to create like a healthy long-term economy too. Yep. I guess I'll just water my real plants, then water my virtual plants.
Yeah, it makes it a little more immersive too, right? Like it's
real breakfast and virtual breakfast.
Yeah,
we've had one, yes, but what about virtual breakfast? Oh man, that's fun. I'm really excited for like the direction all this like metaverse stuff is taking in general. Like it's really cool to like turn things that aren't multiplayer into multiplayer experiences, such as mining in alien worlds. I can be like, hey, come over to my Immersys spot and we can both mine the alien worlds together.
Yeah,
that's kind of awesome.
You see a lot of the same people too. I mean, particularly at this point in the Wax community, there's a lot of overlap. A lot of people that go to our streams, go to your streams, go to Burst streams, go to whoever.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's a lot of like core community there. We creating a gathering space for that outside of Twitch chats is definitely needed.
Yeah. I'm so curious what the actual number of like users are, because you do see the same people at this point where it's just like, I wonder how many people just don't interact on like Twitch. Like what's your reasoning to not come into a Twitch stream, but then also like buy an NFT? Like, I don't really understand. Like, I feel like it's not too far of a step. Like if you bought into somebody's collection and they're streaming, I feel like it would make sense that, you'd go and watch their streams. Like I'm always so curious how many actual users there are on Wax.
Yeah, active ones,
right, Max?
Lots of
fucking starting Marvel thing, but you screenshot the results, right?
Yeah, go to see final results and then screenshot the top.
Oh, I screenshotted the ones from the right side.
Oh.
I mean, as long as it works, yeah.
I can do it again here.
Real quick, if you are new to the marble races, you can do ! form. I just did it there. There's this link. This just is for us to track your Wax wallet, so we know where to send a prize if you have won.
Utopia, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got a screenshot of that one. Let me do another random one, and let's do another giveaway race. Oh, Marcy, you're kind of in the way. I'm trying to like control.
I'm curious.
Yeah, Max's dog steals the show, by the way.
I want to hear chat's opinion. How many real people do you believe are in the Wax community?
Like actively or just in general?
How many real people are actively in the Wax community? What's your number? I'm just curious other people's opinions on it.
Play real quick.
I feel like
you want to join the marble race.
I gotta say it's close to probably like 5 to 10K.
That's my number. 5 to 10K.
I see at least comic saying 100 to 500. Jeff 150 to 200.
I would say
7.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like active people, you really only have like 5 to 10,000 active people. There's definitely more people doing this stuff, but like if you're talking about people actually like chatting in Discords and Telegrams, and like there's a lot more people that use Atomic Hub and don't mess with Discord or Twitch or any of that crap. But it just depends, I guess, like if you're talking about anybody that uses Wax or the actual community, which is the people I consider that are in the chats and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's definitely impressive that the blockchain can handle all of the transactions. I mean, even if they are bot transactions, they're still transactions.
Nuno's in here. Over 9,000. I'll take
over 9,000.
That's the one thing that I agree with Max is like, even if they're bots, it still has more transactions than any other network, so it's still doing better and it's still more functional than any other blockchain at very high volumes. Even if it's a bunch of bot accounts, it's still
it could
transactions.
be one fucking user. It doesn't matter on a technical level. The network is still able to process all those transactions.
Yeah. I just feel like an apartment needs a real human being to live inside of it. So I'm just curious the numbers that people think.
How do I see the names again on the marbles? What button is that, Lewis?
Alt, left alt, or maybe both alts.
Left alt.
So for this one, we'll do first place is an axe, like the entry Rusty Axe. Second place, that Tales of Crypto and Neon Space collaboration that we've done, and then third place, I'll do just a random Virtual Dream NFT.
Mark, I saw you retweeted Wax was giving shade to Polygon.
Wait,
For
what?
that one game that broke Polygon, they like
Oh, yeah.
Wax was like, oh yeah, y'all can come over to Wax if you want a
Dude,
blockchain
it's
that can
so
handle a bunch of
funny.
transactions.
Yeah, I mean,
fired.
I will give them that. I mean, one
Nice.
fucking game is taking Polygon down like that, and Wax is able to hack it with like multiple games with similar transactions.
Has it affected your ability to play Zedrun?
Not really. It just makes the transactions slightly more expensive. I think the most I ever paid for a transaction was like $4 or something, which is a lot of money on Polygon.
Intergalactic hologram,
Also-
congrats.
Also, Polygon it's a Polygon has a layer 1 and a layer 2. So like the layer 1 transactions were high while the layer 2 stuff was still free. So Zedrun like race transactions were still free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain quickly.
Well,
But-
Waxy distribution pool rewards for anyone who does that. That is
6
in
days,
5
right?
days. Pretty
5
amped
days.
about that. So
He stopped. I gotta
you
see
get a
that.
cut of all the transactions on Wax from bots or otherwise.
True.
Yeah.
I'm in
another-
it. I have a very small portion of it.
It's a nice kind of set and forget one, though. It does. I think they'll give out Wax G tokens here this epoch, but I am excited as a collector and as part of a team, a creative team on Wax, like to have governance tokens, both on the Wax P and the Wax E side. Although we've talked about the Wax Council lately, and the Wax Council just seems
Feels
like a
little-
lip service, but. Maybe one day we'll get on the Wax Council.
Yeah, I mean, if we get enough stake, we can just vote.
That's the thing. That's like my saving grace to some of that concept stuff is that like it's like year 1 of the Wax blockchain being live, more or less, as far as like live.
Should I do the soundboard? I forgot to do it.
Oh yeah, hit us with it's time for
Give me
a
a second, I
giveaway.
gotta open the website.
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
Hopefully my sound's working. Tell me if you can hear this.
No. Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, our pal Bruce Buffers telling you to exclamation point play. Thank you for the alley blue. I'll do another tool, another collab pack. I'll mix something else up from like another collection we have in here. We do like Dr. Crispy and Glummy Bears and Virtual Dream. Jesus.
Then I'm gonna go sunbathe and swim.
Yeah, he's in Hawaii right now.
Really? Oh,
in my
okay,
Hawaii
nice.
vacation. My brother's getting married here, so I'm out with like his family and then my family, and
Cool.
that's fun.
Well, I got some Star Trek Funkos. I'll give away a Klingon Star Trek Funko. I'm pretty amped
all
about
my Funkos that wasn't the redeemable, but I've kept my redeemable. Not sending. That
I'm not
one
a
away.
big Funko person, but I am getting one physical redeemable for the Star Trek one because I'm a big Star Trek guy. So I definitely am pretty amped about a Klingon Funko Pop.
I sent the burger in. Like I sent the redeemable token, and now it's being shipped to me. Like I went through the whole process, and it feels pretty cool to like. I don't know. I sold the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, which I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep it. But then I was like, man, I got too many of these redeemables. I don't have space on my desk. Like I just don't have space for it, so I sold it. But the burger, I was like, I don't know. I like burgers, so I'll live with the burger collectible.
That one was from the Freddy Funko one, right?
I spent so much on it too. That's also why I didn't sell it. I was like, I would take such a fat loss if I sold this burger. I'm just gonna keep the burger. But I actually made money on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, so it's easier to sell.
There you go.
Part of my reasoning.
Yeah.
I didn't get Scotty, but who did I got one from? I got one from the Star Trek one too. I forget which one it was though.
There's
the TMNT one I played so
and
fucking
Spock
well.
one.
The TMNT one, I didn't even get the drop. I missed the drop, and I bought only aftermarket stuff, like opened packs, got like a full set, sold off extra stuff to cover the cost of the packs that I bought, like 100% 1-to-1, and then I got airdropped like the 2 of the redeemables, which I just sold, and because I just want to keep the NFTs, and ended up.
Yeah,
like,
I kept my legendary
Like,
NFT, just not the
what I
redeemable.
said
So I
about-
actually have the legendary like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Bebop. I just didn't take the physical.
I pretty much got the money I bought the stuff with back, and then I also doubled that money by selling the redeemable, and I still have the entire NFT collection.
Nice.
Yeah, because they do full set bonuses too, right? They give you the Freddy Funko if you collect everything.
Yeah, I have that for Iron Maiden. I'm so stoked for the Iron Maiden.
I got
I'm gonna get 3 redeemables for that.
Yeah, I got
Wow.
the set bonus. What is it called? The like golden like royalty ones. Like I'm way more into that than I was into oof, Marcy, she's leaving me. Than I was into the other one.
See, I think what we want to do eventually is like for the cosmetics, for like the avatars, is also offer like a real world. So like if you buy the real world's, shirt, then you also get it for your avatar. I think that's like that's our way that we kind of want to do like the not VIRL, but like just like sell a t-shirt but then give you an NFT for your avatar in the game too. Because we can do that, right? Like it would be, I feel like, a missed opportunity not to do it.
Oh yeah, I would love that. Then you could match your avatar and vice versa.
Max, you should show DM the neon space sign.
Oh yeah. Max got a physical redeemable neon space sign.
Oh really?
As in his family like commissioned it for super Christmas.
Yeah, and we're like considering we might start doing this for some of our other signs.
If we can find a supplier that makes sense, that's like actually cost effective, it would be pretty sick if we could have real redeemables.
That would be super cool. Yeah, no, I like the idea of that. I think it makes sense for us too, right? Like, why not just sell a shirt and a virtual version of it? It just it'd be cool to do. Wow, that's sick.
Yeah, and like we have our Genesis like cut my life into pizza sign, so I'm opening a pizza restaurant, so I'm gonna try and get a physical one for that to put in the storefront.
That
looks awesome. So good.
That is so cool.
That looks sick.
Dang, I need that.
Yeah, we just need to look into the logistics like of how much it costs to do that. But
Nathan Furnaren was telling us he's got an LED guy, so we might have a connection through Nathan Furnaren.
That is so cool.
And Camp Burnalot, that is our living room. There's no couch desk. It's literally just like a dining table, and then Max sits on the couches, and there's a TV as his computer.
Yes. It's a pretty sweet setup though, because all of that that your computer and your server can connect to just the TV there.
Yeah.
And then I stream normally in my bedroom, which is like behind the wall that Max is sitting by. But Dan, did you have anything else you want to close with? I feel like we've taken up enough of your time. You're probably busy.
No, I mean I think that's the main thing. It's an auction wax February 2nd, residential, retail. If you want to be, have a home base inside of the metaverse that you can design and decorate with NFTs, then that's where to kind of be. Be on Atomic Hub and be ready for it.
And then the retail one, is that coming? Is there
same time?
Okay, so it's both. Okay, got it. It's just the undetermined amount of retail spots at this time.
Correct. That's the only thing that we haven't disclosed, just because depending on how many variations of the store, we might kind of increase it, like because it depends on how many like facades of the stores we have and the layout of the map that we want to make. As soon as we have that a little bit more placed out and a better understanding what it's going to look like, the map, then we can release it. Because the building is one area, whereas the retails kind of stack, in a line.
Yeah.
All right, let me find someone to raid here, but I will play us out with Carlos Matos this time.
Also, I just wanted to say I posted the link to Immersys. They also stream on Twitch, so if you're not familiar with their channel, check them out. They do giveaways. They stream inside of Immersys, obviously, and other wax stuff, so definitely check that out. And I'm going to post a link to our Discord in case anybody hears from Immersys and is not in there. And if any of you are not subscribed to us or followed, do that stuff. Or not subscribe, that's the money one. Just do the follow. Do the free one. But if you like wax stuff and talking games, we do that. So come hang out with us.
I'll still hold true. If we get to 1,000 followers, I'll pay for a cameo from Hard Rock Nick to say he undervested in Neon Space by a lot.
I would be so happy if you did that.
I think Doja's streaming. He does a lot of marbles and giveaways and things like that. So we'll raid into Doja, and we'll play our sweet EDM song here that we asked Dylan Locke to allow us to play online.
We got permission from the creator, baby.
We got permission.
Cameos is an untouched market. People need to do cameos. I was going to try and get the Island Boys
Dude, in thought about that too.
Doing Climbing Moon was the one that brought it up, and I thought it was such a funny idea. We need to do that in the wax space. Just get some cameos for advertising.
I agree.
It's fun. My gosh! Well, thanks for joining us. We'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, UTC -8. We do just kind of off the rails hangout. We'll look at funny stuff, chop it up about the wax space as usual. Dan, when do you usually stream, or is it just when you have stuff to talk about?
I tend to stream when I have stuff to talk about. Yeah. Right now it's a little bit tougher when there's no minting, right? I'm playing the game to play the game, so I want NFTs when I'm playing. But so I'm just like the players too, right? So like but so when there's announcements, I'll tend to stream, or if minting's up, then I'll just play to play.
I do really I gotta like these. Max should have his financial a financial podcast, High in DeFi, or Getting High with DeFi.
Getting High with DeFi, I like that a lot.
Those are some seriously good suggestions. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Love you long time.
We'll stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know if we said that, but
I did. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing,
super exciting
moment of my life with all of you guys. Tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No.
Crank that bad boy up a little bit.
Okay.
That volume.
Cranking up the bass for this guy. Just like Carlos, we're gonna rock it off into the future here. So thank you. Yes.